But I mean, I just wish Lonnie would tell the truth. Clearly you don't love black women because all you do is abuse them socially, always clout chasing off of women. Like, come on, what makes him a relevant rapper?
Lonnie, baby, I'm gonna need you to come to the front, because the things that are making rounds about you need some clarifications. So, word on the street is that the only reason why Common be passing his stick around to literally every female is because deep down he knows what he really prefers, and it's not them females. Allegedly, his ex, aka Jaguar Wright, is back with all those allegations again. But how true is this? Chill. That's exactly what we are going to try to figure out. Now, I have to admit that there have been several stories about how Common is on the DL. Like, there was a time one was making rounds about someone who said a friend's husband mentioned something strange that happened at a Hollywood event which involved Common. Apparently, he said he was there with his wife, who's connected to the industry, and while she was busy working, Common apparently spent almost an entire hour talking to him, and only him. The funny part is, the guy admitted he didn't even know who Common was until later that night when his wife clued him in. Then, toward the end of the night, around 3 a.m., when his wife texted him to step outside, Common allegedly leaned in and asked, "So what are you doing later tonight?" The husband said he just replied, "Going home with my wife," and that the moment felt very awkward. Apparently, when the person pressed him a few times about whether maybe he misunderstood the vibe, he was adamant and said no. It came across exactly the way it sounded. There was also another person who said this about Common. "Well, my former hairdresser went to Common's birthday party this past March, and she said he was with this guy all night. And they didn't look like homeboys either. She said it was real suspect, and she's from Chicago as well." And then there was another one who contributed to the conversation and was like, "Yes, I believe it. Common is more into men than women. At least he's open to all races. He tried to mess with a personal trainer at my gym." Now, I'll be the first to admit that people can say literally anything on the internet, and a lot of times it's usually just made up. So it's very possible that these people were just making up stories about Common. But then recently, there has been a lot of talk about how Common has been on the DL for the longest time. And if you ask an ex like Jaguar Wright, she will tell you that this man is low-key on the DL. And hold on, Jaguar Wright was actually out here dropping names and claiming that Common might have his eyes on John Legend. Yes, Chrissy Teigen's John Legend. Baby, Jag even said that Legend and Common need to stop pretending and just admit what's going on, which is that they're really just waiting for Chrissy Teigen to go too far with the plastic surgery and end up looking like Jacko so that they can finally move in together and start making musicals. According to her, both Common and Legend would rather spend time together than with any of these women. She also said that she just wishes that people would know the real truth about Common, which, according to her, is that he doesn't love black women because all he does is use them socially, and he is always clout chasing at the expense of the women. Actually, according to Jag, it should be surprising that even though Common has been with all these famous women, none of them has ever spoken about his performance in bed.
And think about it. All of the celebrity tale, you ain't never heard one of these talk about how dope he was in bed.
Of course, we know that Common has a history of dating everyone from Taraji P. Henson to Erykah Badu. Somewhere in between, Common also dated Angela Rye, Kim Jones, Serena Williams, and also Tiffany Haddish. There is also Jennifer Hudson, and other women who have also been part of Common's love story include Ava DuVernay, Jaguar Wright, and even Simone Bozeman. And these are just some of them, by the way. There's a dozen other women that have been with Common over the years. Anywho, what Jaguar was saying is that it doesn't make sense that none of these women has ever even remotely mentioned Common's performance. And according to her, it's because there's hardly any. I know. What a way to bruise a man's ego, girl. Well, I also know some of y'all will say we shouldn't take Jaguar seriously about what she may have to say about Common, because they have a bit of a nasty history. She even once said that Common took advantage of her, and in an interview addressing the allegations, Common defended himself, saying, "God bless Jaguar. I really don't have any negative thoughts towards her. I was for sure disappointed and hurt when she said what she said about me, because it wasn't true. I know people that have experienced SA, and that's not anything to just say if it's not true. But I also understand that she may be going through some things that I don't understand. In all truth, I went through different emotions. I'm like, oh man, why is she saying this? This is not true. true. How's this gonna affect me? Baby, I don't know if the allegations Jaguar made about Common are true. I honestly don't know. But what I do know is that Common was taken advantage of by a man when he was younger, and from what most people have been saying, that traumatic experience may be the reason why he has conflicting feelings when it comes to connecting with women. Common himself actually talked about this in an issue with People magazine, where he said he realized it had happened to him much later in life. In his words, "I kind of wiped that out of my mind for a while. For a long time, I had a tendency to do that, to tuck things away in a corner. My journey back to it came with all the work I've been doing on myself, from prayer to meditation to therapy to art. I didn't even realize it happened until I was doing a film called The Tale, which deals with that subject matter. I actually told my co-star Laura Dern, 'Yo, I think this happened to me.' It just started coming back to me." In the interview, Common also said that he had to break the news to the woman he's closest to, his mother, Dr. Mahalia Hines, and surprisingly, the conversation wasn't as heavy as he thought it would be. As for how she processed the information, he said, "I guess she's looking at the end result. She's like, 'You seem like a happy person.' But that's another reason why I talked about it. Some people that seem happy are not always happy." Well, as much as Common said that what he went through did not affect sexuality, because this is what people assume, he did say in other interviews that it definitely left him with commitment issues.
The pattern I found myself in, what was called love addiction, my therapist broke it down, was like that feeling of being like, oh, I'm in love, and it's that honeymoon period that people call it. I was addicted to that feeling. When that feeling would go away and the real part of relationships came, I was like, okay, do I want this or not? Like, I wasn't ready to do the work.
You was out.
Yeah, it was ready. I wasn't ready to do the work when it came.
Speaking of those commitment issues, according to what Angela Rye suggested, there's a possibility that Common doesn't want to be committed to someone because he doesn't want any more kids. Or a family, for that matter. This is actually something that Angela confirmed on her podcast, On One with Angela Rye, where she said that they wanted different things because she was leaning towards, "I want kids," and he was leaning towards, "I don't know." And according to Angela, when somebody tells you they don't know, they don't really want what you are suggesting. They just don't want to hurt you. Maybe this was one of the reasons he broke up with the women he's dated. It's possible that some of them probably wanted to have kids and a family, but Common told them what he told Angela Rye. Or maybe just like Tiffany Haddish said, Common is just the type that prefers to move from flower to flower with no intention of settling.
He might be the type of person that never like really settles with somebody. Maybe he's like he's like a bee going from flower to flower to flower. I don't know. I wish him nothing but joy and happiness.
But then, on the other hand, his issues could also be because he really just prefers men over women, like Jaguar Wright suggested. To be honest, we actually had pretty high hopes with Jennifer Hudson, with some sources even revealing that Common's mom was finally happy that he had decided to settle down for real. But sources close to J. Hud spilled that she does not see herself getting married to Common, and even rejected his proposal. The source revealed that even though Common came into Jen's life and swept her off her feet, J. Hud is worried about Common's past with so many famous women, and is pulling away from making a hasty decision. Also, allegedly, the streets are saying that she may have discovered that Common is not being true to himself and is low-key on the DL. I don't know, guys. Maybe we are all just overthinking it, but Jaguar is sure as hell fueling the narrative, because she's reportedly back with the same narrative. Whether or not you believe her is up to you, but I'd sure love to know your thoughts on her allegations. Does Common really come across as someone who is on the DL? Drop those thoughts in the comments section below.